Okay, so here's our project, and let's just start from the beginning to see how we can run it. So you're gonna have two terminals. First is gonna be the front end terminal, and then one for the front end, and then one for the back end. So just make sure you're there when you're running this. First thing I'm gonna do is, first thing you should do is run npmi, make sure all the modules are installed. I already did that, so I'm just gonna jump to npm, so npm start. Make sure that runs successfully. Give it a couple seconds just to make sure there's no errors. Okay, there we go. It's starting. I have it on my second monitor. Now, I'm gonna go on the back end, and then all of this is on the README in GitHub, in the GitHub repository. But yeah, just in case. And then we're gonna run Docker compose up build D. It's gonna build the Docker container. It's also gonna build a instance of MongoDB locally, and it's gonna have some preset data that we're seeding to it. And it's just because we didn't want to manually add all the data, so we just wanted to make sure some data was added in there as soon as we start the project. But yeah, so now let me move this to my first monitor. There we go. Okay, so you can see this in the GitHub repository as well. It's on the README. If not, it's on the user seed config file. We just added it here, but how it's stored in the MongoDB database, it's stored hashed using bcrypt. So it's just we wanted the users already in there so that we can sort of a prototype and demo authorization. But yes, it is following standards. It is stored hashed in the database. You can't see the actual password if you try to search for it. But yeah, so we have admin user, and then we also have just a regular user, but which is view only. So admin can edit stuff, delete stuff, and then users can just view. But yeah, so let me just company admin, and then we have admin123 login. There we go. Okay, so the home page is the power company page. This is just a little visual just to show what the topology looks like. Power company to power plant to substation to transformer to the customer. Yeah, so you can manually add power plants to substations, substations to transformers, transformers to customers. But then again, it's a little bit more tedious. So we also added it's slower, right? So we added auto connect. And what this does is it grabs all the customers, connects it to the nearest available transformer. Same for transformers, connected to customers, substations to transformers, and then plants to substations. And if you hover over it, you could see the connections. So yeah, sorry, I didn't show it, but default, no connections were established. And it's that button that connected everything based on the max distance, and then also based on the max substation. So the max, obviously here we only have 4 and 3, but based on the max amount of substations and customers and transformers that you could connect to that system. So yeah, here we also have in the home page, we have the breakthrough, 5 employees, 32 transformers, 8 substations, 2 power plants, 128 customers. Again, all these options to connect and to edit are available to the admin. Later in a bit, I'm going to show what the user can do. But yeah, so we can edit the power rate. We can make it $4 per kilowatt. Right here, we have total cost at 0 because that's based on the maintenance costs and the initial build costs. And the default data, we just have everything at 0 right now. This is changeable. But yeah, that's the only reason why it said 0. It's not that it's not working. It's just all 0 right now. Again, for prototype purposes. But yeah, so let's just dig a bit into these functionality in CRUD operations. And yeah, so if you come here, you could add new customers, that customer, what type of customer it is, what company. We don't connect it here now. What we do is we add a new customer and then we auto connect again at the beginning, or you connect a customer to a transformer at the home page. But yeah, you could add a new customer here with the following things. We added error handling. You don't want to accidentally type a letter, but you can only type numbers. So that's a bit of error handling. You don't accidentally want to disrupt something. You don't accidentally want to add this is preset. It's the only option. You don't accidentally want to write the power company wrong or mess up this. So a lot of the inputs are focused and restricted so that you don't accidentally make mistakes. But yeah, we also have power plants, same issues. You can add power plants with longitude and latitudes. You also have substations, transformers. So yeah, and if you add like a substation and a transformer, here you can actually see what parent power plant you want to add it to. So let's say, and you can add an initial build cost. So now let's say we have a $10,000 initial build cost. I have no idea how much it costs to build a substation, but let's see. And let's make it super far. Right? Let's do something ridiculous. And let's do a maintenance cost of $500, right? And a max distance. So this is where the configurability sorry, comes in. So usually we have a max distance at 20, but maybe you want this substation to have a longer or shorter max distance. This is why this is editable. This is why this is modifiable. But yeah, this is where all these different software configurations that you could change come in. But yeah, if you try to save it to this power plant, this is where we have no other valid power plant was found. So you're trying to connect it to this power plant, but Manhattan distance says that that's not possible because the max distance from that, not from this substation, but from that power plant is 30. No other valid power plant was found because obviously it's super ridiculous. But let's try to do something more reasonable now. 50 and 4.30. And now let's try to save it. There we go. So now we have a new substation with, again, you could change this. So this is where we say this GUI allows these software configurations to take place. You can change these max transformers from 10. You can connect to 10 transformers, or you could connect it to 100. Again, I don't want to disrupt the system right now. But yeah, you can change the maintenance cost. You can change the initial build cost. And a lot goes for a lot of these. So if you go, I haven't connected it to a transformer yet. What we did is connect it to a power plant. But let me see if I show you this real quick. So see, it was at 0. Now we have total cost of 10,500 because the cost of the company just went up. We just had an initial build and we just had a maintenance cost piled up on top of it. Obviously, this revenue is low. It's not because of anything. It's just the mock data that we have. It's just, you barely have any kilowatt usage. But yeah, that's the only reason why that is. You can remove customers. And yeah, if you, so now if we have a substation here, let me auto connect grid. Oh, it's because they're already connected. But yeah, usually what you do is you add another transformer and it'll auto connect as well. It's just they're all already connected, so you can't move a connection that's already established. But unless you manually go in and change it. But yeah, all of that, all of this is changeable. You can change the max customers as well. Usually based on the design, you can only add 5 customers per transformer. You could change this. You could add 10. What you can't do is add, it won't let you. So you got to add, I just typed in like 300,000 characters and it didn't do anything, but it just started lagging. Yeah, what it does let you is, if you try to, it won't let you. That's what the error handling is for. But let's say you want to make it 6. So now it just went up. This transformer can now connect to 6. That's where these configurations come in. And then lastly, let me just show you what company user does. Yeah, so a company user could see the same things, but they can't edit it. And that's where the authorization comes in based on the token that they have, based on that password and username that they put in. It gives them a certain token with a certain role. And based on that role, also, we have it changing in the front end. This is view only, and you don't even see the pencil icons to avoid UX and UI mistakes. You just don't see those changes at all. It's all view only. No edits are possible. To keep those people that you don't want them disrupting your system. You only want to let admins make those changes.
Now that the setup process and Power Company page has been demonstrated, I will continue with the action-based features of our system. In this part of the demo, I will focus on building cycle action, the golfer simulation, and the dispatch workflow for assigning employees and equipment for reported issues. And let's go to the billing cycle, where we are able to see our current billing period, and we are able to refresh our billing data to keep track of our current customers. And the customers is separated by different type, either commercial or residential. And their consumption data is sorted inside a table, their rate, and their estimated bill was calculated based on the rate and their consumption. And from here, we are able to see the total revenue and the separated residential revenue, commercial revenue, and the total revenue shown from here. And it's the same as our Power Company's panel below here. Exactly same price. And let's go back to the billing cycle. We're able to see the total consumption of our users for both residential revenue and commercial revenues users. And you can calculate our total customer we currently have, and we also show that we have 58 residential customers and 69 commercial customers. Besides that, we are able to check. Okay, now let's go to the golfer simulation. And this is part of our functionality requirement, where we are able to see how many assets we have and how many golfers and who are impacted, and also how many infrastructure were damaged. At the beginning, we have one golfer is living inside our simulation power grid, and we can add as many golfers as we want. Let's add 5 total here, and we can place them by dragging our golfer, and we can place them at different position inside our simulation power grid, and we can randomize it, and their position will change based on the randomization. We can also delete all the golfers. Let's add the golfer back. We can change our golfer radius. For the radius is calculated by the Manhattan distance between their nearest elements. Likelihood is the probability that it would impact the infrastructure, and the severity is calculated as input for the level of impact and damage to our infrastructure. For the demo purpose, as you can see, if there's existing power plant, and they will connect to the substation accordingly with the Manhattan distance, and we can move our golfer to impact the area, and likewise it will have shown the list of severity and the level of the status. And if we put a lot of golfers near our power plant, the severity will goes up. Let's see. As you can see, our severity goes up to 60%, and we have currently 3 golfers is impacted to our power plant. Besides that, we can also see the status has changed at the top. We have 6 assets, 5 golfers, 4 impacted, and 1 damaged. Now let's go to the dispatch part where we have the employees. We are able to move the existing employee. We are also be able to change our hourly wages. And when we are trying to remove the employee, it will have a system to handling whether you want to delete this employee or not. If we click OK, it will delete it inside our table. Also, it will be fetched from the backend as well. We can also add the employee. Let's test it out. You can select the date, put in the wages, save employee. It will be saved inside the employee table. And for our equipment issues, we're able to assign the issues, also editing the existing problem and the status. For demonstrating purpose, I will add the new issues. We can have the issue date, the hour need, can assign to our employee. We can have the material cost for our equipment issues, and we can type our problem description. And it will be saved inside our table, and it's still open. After it resolves, we can mark it as result. Overall, these action features demonstrate that our system is not only storing entity data, but also supporting real operational workflow such as billing, damage simulation, and issue response.